my name is Manika Majumdar. I'm working as an assistant professor for the Department of Food Nutrition and Dietetics. Today, our topic of discussion is spermatogenesis. So, what is spermatogenesis? It is the process of production of sperms in the male reproductive system, that is, primary sex organ testis. So we have seen in the testis there are seminiferous tubules where mainly the sperm production is taking place. And in the tubules, there are some cells called spermatogenic cells as well as Sertoli cells, which help in the production of sperms. Let's see what is spermatogenic cells. These are the cell also called as germ cells and which is present in the seminiferous tubules. And these are the precursor of spermatozoa, that is sperms. In between the spermatogenic cells, there lies some Sertoli cells. As we have discussed earlier, the Sertoli cells' function is to give nourishment, protection to the sperms. Now, production of sperms in male is with the onset of puberty. Before the onset of puberty, there is no production of sperms in males. So here the spermatogonia develop into sperms through different stages. So the stages are spermatogonium, primary spermatocytes, secondary spermatocytes, and the last is spermatids. Now, if we talk about the function of testes, testes perform two types of function. That is gametogenic function, which is spermatogenesis, that is production of sperms. Endocrine function, that means secretion of hormones, the hormones like testosterone. First, we will see what is spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis is the process by which male gametes are produced, that is sperm or spermatozoa. Now, this process, it takes 74 days for the formation of sperms from the primitive germ cells. So this process of spermatogenesis, there are four stages, that is stages of proliferation, stages of growth, stages of maturation, and stage of transformation. So as you can see here, this is the proliferation, that is first stage. This is spermatogonium, where the division of cells takes place by mitosis, where it increases its number. Later on at growth stage, these cells become increase in size. And this is called as primary spermatocytes. The third stage is maturation stage, during which the primary spermatocyte is converted into secondary spermatocytes and spermatids. And during this maturation process, the cell cycle called meiosis takes place. And we all know that meiosis is a reductional divisions where the number of chromosomes become halved. So here the spermatogonium is having 46 number of chromosomes, but after maturation, the spermatid will get 23 chromosome each. Later on, the final stage called transformation. During this stage, the matured spermatozoa form, that is called as sperms, with 23 chromosome in it. Now we will see in details all the stages. First stage is stage of proliferations. So we all know that spermatogenic cells or germ cells, they are all diploid number of chromosome. They contain diploid number of chromosome, that is 23 pairs and equivalent to 46 chromosomes. And the spermatogonium cells, as you can see here, these are the precursor of the sperms. So out of this 23 pairs, 22 pairs of chromosomes are autosomal chromosome and one pair is the sex chromosome. Sex chromosomes are, in humans, is like X chromosomes and Y chromosomes. Now during proliferative stage, the spermatogonium, the spermatogonium or spermatogenic cells or germ cells, it undergo divisions by mitosis, and mitosis, we all know this is a cell cycle or cell divisions where the chromosomes number remain the same. In men, there are usually 7 generations of spermatogonia, and the last generations it enters the growth of stage of growth as a primary spermatocytes. Now, during this stage, the spermatogonia migrates along with the Sertoli's tail towards the lumen of seminiferous tubule. Next stage is stage of growth. So, in first stage, we have seen how the spermatogonia cells undergo mitosis and cause cell division. In the second stage, those primary spermatocyte growth takes place. As a result, they become large in size. The size become large. The third stage is the stage of maturation. After reaching the full size, each spermatocytes will quickly undergo meiotic divisions. So, as we all know, there are two meiotic divisions, first and second. So, primary spermatocyte at the stage of maturation will undergo first meiotic division. After first meiotic divisions, the chromosome number will become halved from 46 to 23. Later on, and this first after first meiotic division, the spermatocytes which form, these are called as secondary spermatocytes. Later on, the secondary spermatocytes will undergo second meiotic divisions and give rise to spermatids. So this is the whole meiosis takes place, and this is the maturation stage. This meiosis takes place in the maturation stage, during which primary spermatocytes is converted into spermatids. So during this stage, the chromosome number will become 46, from 46 to 23. Next, the last stage of transformation. So during that process, that spermatids, which is formed in the second stage of maturation, that spermatids, it is transformed into a matured spermatozoa by the process called spermiogenesis, and then released by spermination. So during the transformation process, the spermatids which are formed during the stage of maturation, those spermatids undergo several changes, and as a result we get a matured spermatozoa or sperms. And this transformations from spermatids to spermatozoa, that is called as spermiogenesis. So as you can see in the picture, this is a matured sperm. This is a matured sperm. So, and this process of is called as spermiogenesis. So now what happens during the spermiogenesis? Spermiogenesis, it is the process by which spermatids become matured spermatozoa, and the changes which are taking place during this transformation is condensation of nuclear material, formation of acrosomes, and removal of cytoplasm, extraneous cytoplasm. So these are the various changes taking place during the transformation process. Now the matured sperm is ready. Now it's time to release it into the lumen. So this is the matured sperms, the spermatozoa. Now it's time to release into the lumen. So that process, the release of sperms into the lumen, that process is called spermination. So spermination is the process by which the matured sperm are released from the Sertoli cells into the lumen of seminiferous tubule. So from the matured cells after spermiogenesis, it will released into the tubule. So this is the lumen part. So it will released into the tubule, and then and then its process is called as spermination. Now let's see what are the factors which affect the spermatogenesis process. That is what we have learned now: production of sperms. Spermatogenesis, it is influenced by Sertoli cells and hormones. As we have seen how what is the functions of Sertoli cells, that they provide nutrition to the spermatogonium so that it can develop into sperms, matured sperm. So what is the function of Sertoli and how it is affect the spermatogenesis? By supporting and nourishing the germ cells, providing hormonal substances necessary is required for spermatogenesis, and it also produces androgen binding protein, which is very much essential for the testosterone activity, that is female sex hormones, and usually particularly on spermatogenesis. Sertoli cells also affect spermination process. Hormones. Other than Sertoli cell, there are some hormones which are also affect the spermatogenesis process, that is follicle stimulating hormone, testosterone, estrogen, luteinizing hormones, growth hormone, inhibin, and activin. So this is the regulation. So here is the hypothalamus which secrete guano. This is the regulation of the spermatogenesis, how the sperm production and all takes place. So this is the hypothalamus. It secretes gonadotropin releasing hormones. When it secretes, it stimulates the cells in the intrapituitary to secrete two hormones called follicle stimulating hormones and luteinizing hormones. Luteinizing hormones trigger the Leydig cells, which is present in the seminiferous tubule, to secrete testosterone, which is a male sex hormone, and this testosterone is very much required in the production of sperms. Follicle stimulating hormone, on the other hand, it stimulates the Sertoli cells to secrete the other hormone called estrogen, inhibin, and activin. Activin causes positive feedback to the follicle stimulate to increase the level of follicle stimulating hormone, whereas inhibin, it gives a negative feedback to both hypothalamus and this follicle stimulating secreting cells. Estrogen give a positive, it also help in the spermatogenesis. Other than that, the growth hormone, which is also secreted by anterior pituitary, it also promote the process called spermatogenesis. So far what we have seen is the gametogenic function. Next, we will see endocrine function. That is, what are the hormones they are secreting. So testes, they secrete male sex hormone, that is androgen. So androgen secreted by testes are testosterone, dihydrotestosterone, and aldosterone. In testes, the androgen are secreted by Leydig cells, that is interstitial cells of Leydig. In target tissue, the testosterone converted into dihydrotestosterone, which is an active form of androgen. And in adipose tissue, testosterone is converted into estrogen. Now let's see what is the function of testosterone. It is responsible for distinguishing characters of masculine body. Testosterone plays a very important role in fetal life as well as adult life. Let's take a look its function in fetal life. In fetus, it is causes a sex differentiation. So, in fetus, it has a two genital duct, that is Mullerian duct and Wolffian duct. So, this is the fetus. The gonad's fetus is bipotential. That means they can give rise to female gonad as well as male gonad. So, when In the fetus life, when testosterone is secreted from the genital ridge of the fetus at seventh week of intrauterine life, the Mullerian duct will degenerate. Mullerian duct degenerate, which actually later give rise to female gonad. So that Mullerian duct is degenerate. So as a result, Wolffian duct remains, and which finally give rise to male gonads. Okay. Next, if testosterone do not secrete in the male, in the in the fetus at about seventh week of intrauterine life, then Wolffian duct will degenerate. As a result, male gonad will not form. So only female gonads will form. So it is all dependent on the testosterone. If it secretes, then male gonad will form. If it do not secrete, then female gonad will form. And it all happens at the seventh week of intrauterine life of fetus. Other than that, testosterone is also essential for growth of external genitalia like anus, scrotum, and other accessory sex organs, seminal vesicle, prostate glands. It also helps in descent of testes. It is a process by which testes enter the scrotum from the abdominal cavity during the birth of a child. Now we will see what is the function of testosterone in adult life. It affects the sex organs, like it increases the size of the penis, scrotum, and testes after puberty. It also causes secondary sexual characters. It also affects it by like secondary sexual characters like physical behavior characteristic, which distinguish the male from the female, and this characters appears at the time of puberty in humans. So testosterone is responsible for the development of secondary sexual characters in male. Next, the regulation of the hormone called testosterone. In fetus, testosterone secretion from testes is stimulated by human chorionic gonadotropin, and it stimulates, this hormone stimulates the development of Leydig cells in fetal testes and promote the testis secretion. Whereas in case of adult, luteinizing hormone or interstitial cell stimulating hormone, which is secreted by anterior pituitary after getting stimulated by luteinizing hormone, releasing hormone from the hypothalamus. This interstitial stimulating hormone, it stimulates the Leydig cells in the testis so that it will secrete the testosterone, which is a male sex hormone. So here, male testosterone also give a negative feedback to the interstitial cell stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone releasing hormone. So this is all about the regulation of testis. With this note, I'm going to end today's session. Thank you.